Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called Learn How a Reality TV Show Can Dramatically Increase Your Company's Revenues. Does your company's marketing budget keep increasing while your revenues remain flat or continue to decline? We've got an extraordinary solution for you that'll help increase your revenues. It's a new form of entertainment called an engineered reality TV show. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe, like, follow, and comment. Also, I want to tell you that the show is sponsored by HollywoodIsCalling.com. It's a company which allows you to purchase live phone calls with more than 100 celebrities for $19.95. So check them out and purchase a live call for yourself or for someone you care about as a gift. It's a great idea. HollywoodIsCalling.com. Now, let's get started. The problem for many mid and large-sized companies is that they continue to struggle to increase their sales with little or no results. They're often pumping millions of dollars into commercials, social media, special events, and other promotions, and the results are often flat and yielding terrible results. Some companies are having tremendous success increasing their revenues, their sales, their market share by producing and broadcasting an engineered reality TV show built around one or more of their brands. Companies and people like West Coast Choppers, Kim Kardashian, Orange County Choppers, and the Fast and Loud TV show featuring Richard Rawlings and his Gas Monkey Garage have all dramatically increased their revenues and their market share by having shows built around their brands. One can even argue that Donald Trump, as the host of The Apprentice, was probably put in the White House by all the exposure and media attention that show gave him. That's how powerful reality TV is. But the question is, can you take an engineered reality show that's successful at helping small and mid-sized companies and scale up that business model to dramatically increase the sales of Fortune 1000 companies? If so, can it also be done in a way that reduces their overhead at the same time that it increases their sales? The answer is absolutely yes. Let me show you how we can do it for you. A typical Fortune 1000 company may have anywhere from a $500 million to a $3 billion marketing budget. The company will produce a lot of ads that unfortunately most people will ignore. Worst of all, the ads will be forgotten within an hour or two of their appearing, and the impact on sales will be minimal, if at all. What they should be doing is allocating a portion of their marketing budget to the development and production of engineered reality shows, plural, more than one, and broadcasting those shows on television and YouTube. The shows should be engineered to feature and promote the company's brands, but this can't be done in the usual schlocky corporate way. It has to be done in a highly innovative and positive way that captures the attention of viewers each week and forces them to binge watch the shows online or on TV at the same time that it elevates your brand. How do you accomplish that? You do it by producing really compelling, high concept, super innovative reality TV shows that people are addicted to and forced to binge watch. So the question is, why is it called engineered reality TV? It's called that because it serves and performs three major functions. First, it entertains. It entertains a lot of people in a very novel way. Secondly, it functions to alter the reality of your company's market in a way that causes consumers to change the way they perceive your company and your products. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, it has to convince, and this has to be done in a very nuanced way, it has to convince consumers that it was their idea to like or love and buy your product. that it's not that their decision to purchase it is not just the result of some new advertising trick, but the show has to convince them it was their idea. That's really integral. Let me give you an example. Let's say you wanted to increase your car company's auto sales by 20%. And let's say you wanted to accomplish this at a time when sales are declining. To accomplish that, you have to give the consumers a reason to purchase your car other than price, style, and dependability. That's been going on for decades, and it's not penetrating anymore. I can't publicly give away too many of the details, but there is one form of engineered reality that can elevate a product beyond being a mere commodity and elevate it to a prestige or premium purchase. It accomplishes this by having the show, the reality show, link your product to a culturally or historically significant event that will occur on the show. Now, most people still believe that most significant cultural or historic events happen somehow spontaneously, that the forces of nature or the forces of history have somehow magically coincided and created some magical spark that causes people to behave in a certain way. And that has almost never been the case. Significant events which alter human behavior have almost always been engineered throughout history. And that's exactly what producers of reality TV shows do. That's what we can do. You know, there is almost no empirical evidence that there is any difference between the artwork produced by Picasso and the artwork produced by a first-year art student. Yet there is a vast difference in the value of both of those pieces of art. What people still don't realize and refuse to accept is that the financial and cultural value assigned to a specific piece of art is entirely artificial. It's engineered by people deliberately working to increase its perceived value. That value is all artificial. Now, to this very day, romanticists want to believe that one sports car or painting is somehow more unique, more special, more magical than another. And that's why it's worth more on the market. You know, this inherent belief still causes people to believe that better products or services will generate higher sales because they're better. And that has almost never been the case. And I'll prove it to you. The Betamax VCR video recorder was technically superior to the VHS in almost every way. Yet the VHS generated far more sales and put Betamax out of the market. Why? Because it had a superior team working behind it. Countless cell phones have come onto the market over the last decade that have had technologies and features that have been far superior to either the iPhone or the Samsung phones. Yet those phones continue to generate the highest sale despite these other phones attempting to bring superior technology onto the market. See, it really has nothing to do with quality. Quality has a minor impact. It's all about perceived quality. I'll give you another example. Most experts will tell you that there is such a glut of real and artificial or synthetic diamonds on the market that their actual value should be about somewhere between $10 and $20 a carat. That's how many of them there are. And that's how many synthetic diamonds can be produced. Yet the teams bringing real diamonds to market continue to be successful at keeping the price of their diamonds per carat much higher than that. Why? Because they are able to elevate the perceived value of those diamonds and convince people that there's something special or magical about their diamonds, that they're somehow rare when they're not, that they're somehow more robust or special than synthetics or than diamonds dug up on some other part of the world under unfavorable circumstances. This is part of the problem with people who believe that if they just produce the right commercials for their company's products, that will somehow spike sales. But, you know, that may have worked years ago, but there are now so many millions of of attention-getting ads on television, on the internet, on the radio, on your computer, that it is very difficult to penetrate through to somebody and convince them with a 30 or 60-second message. Engineered reality TV is a different matter because it's a long form of story-driven entertainment that captures the viewer's attention for 30 to 60 minutes. It's also much less obvious and more nuanced than commercials, because it's able to pull the viewer in with characters and story and do something really special. It's able to convince, if properly done and engineered, it's able to convince viewers that the product or service being featured in a reality TV show, or maybe it's not even featured, maybe it's just mentioned or referenced or seen, but if it's done properly, then it's capable of convincing the viewer that the reason they like it or love it or want to buy it is entirely a thought of their own making, that they somehow uniquely perceive that product as something they need for some special reason. And now for the metrics. If you analyze the math, there is no comparison between conventional commercials and producing reality television. Let's say your company has $1 billion advertising budget, and you allocate 10% of that budget, or 100 million, to the development and production of 20 reality TV shows. And those shows will be designed to appear on television or YouTube over the next 12 months and feature or reference some of your brands. And it features them in a way that elevates them and causes people to see your brands in a unique, new, and more positive light. Let's assume that out of those 20 shows, 10 of them fail, they're complete flops. 5 of them are mildly popular. 3 of them are okay, and 2 of them are absolute smash hits that people love binge watching for the next year. As a television and technology producer, I've seen this phenomena often enough to know that having 2 hit shows, even 1 hit show, properly done, can spike your sales and generate more interest over the next 12 months with binge watching and talk at the office water cooler and viral messages on social media, people talking about that show, can have a more profound effect over the next 12 months than the remaining $900 million of your budget is able to have with social media and television advertising, radio advertising, print, whatever. That's how powerful reality TV is. I'll prove it to you. Ask 10 people if they can remember an ad that they saw on television 3 hours ago. 9 of them will say no. Ask those same 10 people if they can remember some of their favorite episodes from their favorite TV shows 20 years ago, and almost every one of them will say yes. That's extraordinary impact. You can spend $1 billion over the next 12 months and produce really slick ads that no one's going to remember. Or you can allocate 10% of your budget to the development of numerous reality TV shows and then watch the significance of the impact that they create. The same thing goes for movie promotional budgets. Studios will pay $100 million to produce a box office hit, what they hope will be a hit. Then they will spend another $100 million promoting and advertising it for, say, a 60-day window prior to the movie's release. If that movie flops, then the entire $200 million goes up in smoke, and a number of executives lose their jobs, and a number of actors find it much more difficult to book their next movie because of the flop they just appeared in. But if they allocate half of their promotional budget, let's say $50 million, to the production of, let's say, 10 engineered reality shows, which are built and designed to promote the movie in some direct or tangential way, then some interesting things happen. If just one or two of those engineered reality shows designed to promote a movie go on to become hits, then those hits will continue to promote that movie and cause it to increase in value over time. There's also another significant benefit in that those shows are standalone assets that will generate revenue for years to come, revenue that will augment whatever the movie makes. It's because of those very reasons that engineered reality TV is a much more cost-effective method of generating sales than conventional or social media advertising. You have to remember that a product's appeal or popularity is never preordained. It's never intrinsically the result of something that product conveys on its own. Whatever that product conveys to the buying public is always engineered. Hit songs don't become hit songs because they were innately great. There are plenty of great songs out there that no one has ever listened to or bought. They're hits because the teams behind them made them hits. Great selling cars, boats, clothes, phones, movies, and other products succeed because they were the beneficiaries of extraordinary, talented individuals working to make them hits. That is the magic of an engineered reality TV show. What it does is it causes consumers to believe that it was their idea that this product somehow referenced on some television or YouTube show is so cool that they have to have it. The key to engineered reality is maneuvering the viewer into believing that it's their idea that this show is great. They either discovered it before anybody else did, or they see something in it that no one else knows yet, but they will in 6 months. That is the key. Once a consumer or a viewer believes it was their idea to like or love your product, then that's when you succeed. Think about the significance of that for a minute. Convince someone that a great idea of yours was actually somehow their idea, and you'll have a customer for life. That is the key to engineered reality television. If your company is interested in having us develop an engineered reality television show for them in a way that will increase their sales, market share, or elevate the appeal of their products, then you can contact us through the email displayed on the About Us section of the John Ark Show YouTube channel. Thank you, and we'll talk to you soon.